Watch me as I build an entire company in real time in the next couple minutes. I'm not kidding. So I have this business that I've been wanting to start for a while. It's a very siloed business. It basically does one thing, which is around AI voice agents. And so I am going to show you my process because I think you guys could benefit from this. I've never done this before, where I'm going to record the whole process and you're going to see how crazy fast it is and how much it's augmented by AI and how much quicker I can do this now. I can literally do this in like a 20th the time that I used to be able to do it because of AI tools, which I'm going to use liberally here. So here we go. Okay, I favored a name that describes what we do, so I ended up on this one after doing a bunch of research, which I just used AI to, tell me give me different concepts. I kind of chose an SEO based structure as opposed to like a branded structure, like making up my own brand name. And this was it. And then what I did is I went to the USPTO database, and I always do this. And by the way, this is not legal advice, and you should definitely hire an attorney if you're concerned about trademark anything or anything related to it. But I do this myself just because I like to get a sense of if there's any conflict. And so that this will show me other people that are, in this case, word mark holders. So I'm using this USPTO database. It's totally free to kind of get a sense of if I might have any potential trademark conflicts with the brand that I'm thinking about. Next, I was off to the races using Google Gemini, and I created a Gemini session where I said, hey, here's a logo I have for a sister company. What I want to do is I want you to make it similar to this, and I want you to build an alternate logo using an alternate color offset. But I want to keep a lot of things the same. And so this is what Gemini came up with. I made some tweaks to it. By the way, I also noticed that Gemini has this edit image thing in here, which is really cool. It uses Adobe Acrobat Express. But anyway, so this is what I'm ending up with. I might refine it more, but this is the one I'm using for right now. I went with a teal color as opposed to the orange offset, but I had a conversation and just, had it create also like reverse versions of the logo, as well as square version, as well as transparency of the icon for things like, well, whatever, just symbols across the site and branding. And then I also did a fave icon. So I told it to create all those. By the way, by default, when Gemini does that, it tends to put it all on one, which I don't like. I'm like, that's not what I want. I don't want an asset pack in one image. I want you to break it out. I had to tell it to do that. I find that it's not very smart with that. I tried to have it also give me some other variants. I'm still working on this right now. These are actually pretty terrible, so I'll be arguing with it a little more. I tried to use Claude for some of this, and it was just absolutely terrible. I love Claude, but it's not good. Gemini is with Nano Banana 2, it's just the clear winner. So some of the things that I did were you can see I just told it it's not very good at this, but going back up, I had it do some other things for me. This part was useful, actually, just coming up with like color schemes. So I had it look at my existing logo. It figured out all the colors, and then basically it gave me a bunch of options for sister brand variations on it. And I like the way it presented this as well. I ended up choosing the first one here, but it came up with a whole bunch of different options for me to consider. So that part was good, but generating the actual imagery was not so good. The next thing I did was I registered the domain name. I use Cloudflare. I highly recommend Cloudflare. It's secure, it's easy, the DNS manager is free. It is just a great platform. It's number one for me. I never use GoDaddy or any of those other ones. And I basically set up the DNS in here. Now what I did is I went into high level, which I use as like our CRM, and I pointed high level. So I said, I created a prompt, but I actually enhanced the prompt, and I used a different tool. Let me drag this tool over so you can actually see it. I use something called Pretty Prompt, but you don't have to use this. You can actually just use any AI for doing this. But I basically was giving it instructions like I want it to be borrowed off of the look and feel of the sister website. But I used this Pretty Prompt to enhance the prompt so that it really was much more complete. And then what I did is in high level, there's a new feature called it's called the AI Studio, and AI Studio lets you have a conversation to build a website. And that's what I actually did. I just pasted that prompt in. I literally just pasted one prompt in, and I got this right here, this website, and I told it to look at my existing site, and it looks very, very similar. And I will dial this in. But this literally took like 1 minute. Like I just started recording. I actually started recording this video. It did it in the time I was recording this video, which I'm only 5 minutes in right now. and it's been done, I think, waiting for me for a couple minutes. The next thing I'll do is dial this website in, just having a conversation in that chat sidebar that you just saw. Just say, do this, do that, do the other thing. It all happens instantly, no coding, nothing. And I will have a minimally viable site within a few minutes here, and that's it. And I literally did all that in concentrated time where my hands were on the keyboard and I wasn't getting called to dinner by my wife. I was literally spending 10 minutes, maybe 15 max, to build out, register a domain name, pick a business name, register a domain name, build a website, blah, blah, blah. It's very, very quick. And by the way, in high level, it will actually automatically go and put the records in that it needs to associate this website that I'm building right now with the domain name. It'll do that for you and stick the records in. So for people that aren't technical with that stuff, it's like crazy. It's so awesome. I'll keep showing you guys how I market this business. I'm actually doing this as a complete startup, separate business. It's actually a third business of mine. But I have a business partner that I'm going to work with on this, who's going to be doing some of the sales. And so I'm going to scale this very quickly. And I'll show you guys what I do so you can actually see like our whole business model, our process, and how I grow the company over time.